So we've got the beam in, which is great. I had this planned before we hired Osawa-san. I had the timber ordered. I had the brackets here, which is great because then when he came, he agreed to do the plan that I had proposed, which was we weren't sure how far the rot came through this post, because this beam originally ran all the way into this post here. This was the one that I held in my hand that I broke. It was completely rotten the whole way down. So we cut it here at 3.6 meters. And then we put this new one in. And then my plan was to cut the beam back as far as it needed to go until the rot was gone, which turned out to be about here. The rot actually went back further than I had expected. And then the plan was just always to put this beam on the end to pick up this load and then distribute the load either side, which is what we've done. So yeah, we hired him. Originally, I just wanted to get a lift to put this beam in, but he was so much more than that. Yeah, I'm so glad that we hired him because he did all these joints that are like traditional Japanese joints, like this sort of notched out, it's like an angled cut here, which I hadn't really seen before. So we've got a new bottom plate here. I've probably overdone it because I'm just paranoid about water. So on the ends, we've got plastic, and then I've done normal like building wrap, like Tyvek. So that's the edge that goes against, like this face here is the edge that goes against this stucco. And then I've got the laser level set up down the end there. And I've had to cut this bottom plate all the way back. And you can see the laser line is just here. I had to cut this bolt, and then we installed the bottom plate, and you can see this one's totally rotten here. And once this one's installed, I'll install the other one. Business up front, party in the back. I'm half under.
Half under?
Yeah.
半分。He's coming, okay?
Yeah.
It's almost in. This different?
So these are 12 by 65 mil bolts, but they're like half screws, half bolts. So you just do a pilot hole and then use like a ratchet and just tighten them up.
Voila.
I wanted to show you this before we throw it out. So that was this beam that was fixed into this post which we replaced. So this was the rotten post which we initially replaced, and then we thought that the beam was alright, but the beam wasn't okay. So as you can see, the water damage through that. So we had to keep cutting it back until the rot was completely gone. And that's where we ended up, which is where we put the new beam that runs parallel to this external wall. That being there. So we just kept cutting back until eventually we got rid of all the rot. So you can see the damage there. Crazy. Yay!
Ooh.
So what we just did, then we disconnect this. It means that it is engaged this post on top of this post. This post is 105 by 105, so we're just setting the guard at 53. It's been many, many years since I've done this, so a bit out of practice.
Oh. There you go.
That's funny. We should have just gone to Super Beaver and just bought 2 pieces that size and then kept this together for something else. But to support the stucco, like to support the render, we're going to put this frame in. This is all Osawa-san's idea. Put this frame in and then we're just going to use this adhesive. I knew we had to support it anyway because I did one here to support the render and also to give it staples for the paper to stick to. So yeah, we're going to glue this in place and then hopefully that will support the weight of the stucco if it ever wants to drop or anything. This frame will hold it.
What's this thing called?
Cork.
So I'm gonna put the cork in. Okay. That's doing what I've been told.
So first, you got to scrape off all the old render and expose all the cracks with that scraping tool. Expose all the cracks and then fill the cracks with cork, which we're doing now. You blow it out as well, get all the dust out, and then re-render over it. So Anne's fixed some timber in behind here and glued it to the stucco, haven't you, Anne? And now she's papering. So if any water gets behind, like we said in the last episode, if any water gets behind the stucco, it's going to hit this weather barrier and just work its way outside. It's not going to rot this timber anymore, which is coming along quite nicely. So we're back up in our favorite corner. Because it's coming into winter now, we're getting a lot more rain and stuff like that. Anne was here yesterday, I was not. And she called me and said there's water coming and dropping through the floor, which is absolutely not a call you want to get. So I pulled the insulation out and had a look here, and it looks like we got more fun stuff. So now I'm going to get on the roof and have a look. I think it might even be this nail that's causing it. I don't know, it's gross though, whatever this stuff is. That's the box gutter there that runs the whole width of the roof, so we'll get up and have a look. So the way you get on the roof in these Japanese houses, it's not very OHS friendly, but you got to climb out your window. You've got to climb out your window and get onto this thing. And this was obviously made for Japanese people, not 6 foot white dudes who eat too much. So let's get up here and have a look. I survived the climb. Beautiful view up here. You can see a snowy Tenguyama in the background. So we're up here on the roof. Here's the box cutter that I pointed at previously. So the roofs in Japan, they all slope down into this central box gutter, and then there's a downpipe up this end in there that actually runs in between the external cladding and the internal walls, and then goes all the way down the bottom into our living room. There's like a reservoir that it all falls into, and then from the reservoir it runs under the ground and then into this drain here. So, but I think I found the issue why it's leaking. I think it's right here. So you can see that this cork is all cracked and old. So when Osawa-san was here the other week, he told me that this chimney also had the same issue. There was water getting in from the top because of the old cork. So he just absolutely loaded this up with silicone and blocked all the old cork. So I'm going to do the same thing over here. And hopefully that'll fix the issue. So just an update on what you saw earlier in the video. Right now, it's pouring with rain. It's been raining all night. And a couple of days ago, we got up on the roof because I found more rot in the ceiling. Anne actually found it. So now it looks dry. There's no water coming through. Might be a little bit damp from when it was raining, but I think we fixed it, which is great. So no more water, hopefully, is coming into my house. This is hopefully the last of it. So yeah, silicone, do your best and silicone the rest, they say. So the conclusion of the rotten post. We're about to do the last steps. So before we do, I just wanted to show you exactly what we did. So this was the corner, that was the post that was rotten. So we did, as you would have seen earlier in the video, we did wrap the front of it in paper just so that the part that is exposed to the stucco is protected for many, many years to come. This new bottom plate is put in. So Osawa-san did these joints, which I would never have been able to do. So you see how he checks into the post and puts an angle on this so that it notches in. He did this return piece. This was all him. This was all him as well. So he notched the bottom of that out. So now what we're going to do is we're just going to fill back in the joists that I ripped out, and then we're going to reply the floor. I need to reattach my paper. I need to fill in that hole that the electrician did. And yeah, then we're going to close the book on this saga. What an ordeal it was to fix this. So yeah, in hindsight, I probably could have been able to figure out that there was rot by looking at the exterior wall, because it's all cracked and the render's peeling off and stuff like that. But yeah, I'll know that for next time. So the additional joists are in. I had to join them because yeah, the lengths aren't super duper long. But I just wanted to show this a little bit. Again, I ran out of timber. But the joints that I did here, I channeled my inner Osawa-san. So there's checkouts in the joists. We just did notches, like 2 notches, 1, 2, and then it just slots in here. and slots in here. And voila. So Sunday afternoon, 4 p.m. Feels so dark. So I'm just going to finish laying my first bit of ply in here. Feels a bit weird to see this giant hole up here. And then Anne is in here. Excuse the mess. She's just working on our practice wall. Trying to fix up my horrible job. She's making it good. We got all this product to use. That looks great. Look how flat it is. Alright, pliers installed. Time to get out of here. I just can't overstate how good this feels now. It feels like, look how much we've opened it up. So we're going to leave that there. And now the living room is just like, just feels way bigger. Love it.